The world of the 1930s was a world of shadows. It was still reeling from the Great War, the one they called the War to End All Wars. The Treaty of Versailles, meant to secure peace, had instead planted seeds of bitterness in Germany. It imposed crippling reparations and demanded the nation accept all blame. In Italy, a man named Benito Mussolini had already shown the way. In the Far East, the Empire of Japan had its own ambitions. Then came Adolf Hitler. He spoke to the people's deepest fears and their most fervent hopes. To the shock of the world, Hitler secured his eastern flank by signing a non-aggression pact with Stalin. The soldiers of the Wehrmacht moved to their positions, their hearts a mix of patriotic fervor and quiet dread. At 4:45 in the morning on September 1st, 1939, the silence was shattered. Stuka dive bombers screamed down from the sky, their sirens striking fear into hearts of soldiers and civilians alike. Panzer tanks, organized in powerful divisions, smashed through Polish defenses, encircling entire armies. The Polish fought with incredible bravery, but courage was not enough. By the end of the month, Warsaw had fallen. Poland was erased from the map once more. The spark had been lit. The world was now at war. In May 1940, the Wehrmacht bypassed France's Maginot Line, striking through the dense Ardennes forest. At Dunkirk, over 300,000 soldiers were evacuated in a miracle of deliverance. By June, Paris had fallen. Hitler stood at the Eiffel Tower, master of the continent. In North Africa, British and Commonwealth forces clashed with German armies in the vast, unforgiving desert. Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor brought America into the war, making it truly global. German U-boats stalked Allied convoys, seeking to starve Britain into submission. In the Battle of Britain, outnumbered British pilots held the line against the German Luftwaffe. Churchill immortalized them. Never was so much owed by so many to so few. Hitler's invasion of the Soviet Union was the largest land invasion in history. At Stalingrad, the battle became a brutal street-by-street meat grinder that broke the Wehrmacht. At Midway, American dive bombers sank 4 Japanese carriers, devastating Japan's naval power. D-Day opened a second front in Europe, forcing Hitler to fight a war on 2 sides. Wars are fought by soldiers, but they are directed by leaders whose decisions shape history. Hitler trusted his own judgment over experienced generals, leading to catastrophic errors. Churchill rallied Britain with words that became weapons: "We shall never surrender." Roosevelt guided America from isolationism to becoming the arsenal of democracy. Stalin, though a tyrant, became a necessary ally whose ruthless decisions ground down the German war machine. These men forged the grand alliance that would build a new world on the ashes of the old. World War II was, above all, a war of people. Civilians endured bombing campaigns and rationing. Women entered the workforce in unprecedented numbers, becoming the backbone of war production. The greatest horror was the Holocaust, the systematic murder of 6 million Jews and millions of others. Yet amidst suffering, there were incredible stories of resistance and courage. By 1945, Soviet forces were fighting through the rubble of Berlin itself. On April 30th, Hitler committed suicide in his bunker. Germany surrendered unconditionally. Crowds celebrated VE Day across the free world. The atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki forced Japan's surrender. On September 2nd, aboard the USS Missouri, Japan formally surrendered. After 6 long and terrible years, World War II was finally over. When the guns fell silent, the world was almost unrecognizable. 60 to 80 million people were dead. New institutions like the United Nations were created to prevent such catastrophe from happening again. But the alliance quickly fractured, leading to the Cold War between former allies. The lessons of World War II remain relevant today, about the dangers of unchecked aggression and ideologies based on hate. But it also taught us about the incredible resilience of the human spirit and the necessity of standing together against tyranny. It stands as a solemn warning that our choices have the power to shape history for generations to come, for better or for worse.